Hi guys, welcome back to Potential WebCode. In this video, we're diving into our latest projects, giving you a sneak peek into what we've been working on. Check out our header, see how it smoothly comes to life with the sleek animation. Each element fades in gracefully, adding a touch of sophistication to our site. Let's talk about the left side of our header. We've meticulously crafted a bold and striking title, ensuring it commands attention and sets the stage for our website's narrative. Below the title and subtitle, we've crafted a concise yet compelling description. And let's not forget about those captivating project previews here. They have effect when we hover on it. We've also included a profile picture on the right side. We've set up handy menus for easy navigation. They stay put on the right side of your screen. Moving forward, we have About section here. We've also implemented a smooth animation. At the top, we have a title that grabs attention. On the left side, there's an image. And on the right side, we've placed a description along with a button. In the navbar, we've included a direct link to the About section. This allows users to quickly navigate to the About section with just a single click. Let's dive into the project section. You'll notice a smooth animation as we scroll to this area. Here, we showcase 3 projects. Each project card features an image with a description positioned atop it. Initially, the brightness of the project card is slightly dim. However, upon hovering over the cards, the brightness increases, enhancing visibility. Additionally, when hovering, a button appears on the right side of the card. We can also see there is some shadow when we hover on it. Additionally, for effortless navigation, simply click on the Projects option in our navbar, and voila, you'll be seamlessly transported to this enchanting project showcase. Now, let's delve into the Expertise section. As you scroll down, witness a seamless animation guiding you to this insightful segment. Below, you'll find 6 distinct expertise cards, each adorned with a unique color scheme. Hovering over these cards reveals a subtle shadow effect. And for easy access, simply click on the Expertise option in our sticky navbar to swiftly navigate to this enriching section. Below the Expertise part, we showcase our clients with the title and their logos. Moving along, we reach the Contact section. As we scroll down, you'll notice a seamless transition effect. At the top, we present the title alongside a brief description. Below that, you'll find 3 key pieces of contact information: phone number, email, and our YouTube channel. Each is represented by an icon and accompanied by the relevant details. Now, let's take a look at the responsiveness of our website. As I resize the window, you'll notice some dynamic changes taking place. In the header, the profile image moves to the top, and the font sizes adjust accordingly. When we scroll down to About section, the image is set on the top of the description and button. In the Project section, the descriptions are hidden on the cards to optimize space. As we scroll down, the expertise cards will appear one by one. Similarly, the lists in the client and contact sections are neatly arranged. With these adjustments, our portfolio website is now fully optimized for various screen sizes. Let's embark on creating this wonderful digital showcase. Alright folks, we've got Visual Studio Code fired up and ready to roll. Take a look at the Explorer section here. See that nifty images folder? That's our treasure chest of images for later. We've also got our JavaScript, HTML, and CSS files, the building blocks of our awesome website. Ready to code? Let's start with HTML file. Let's kick things off by setting up the basic structure of our HTML document. Now, let's change the title of our page to Responsive Portfolio Website. Next, to ensure our styles are on point, we're going to create a bridge between our HTML and CSS. Here, we're adding a link to our CSS file. The ref attribute points to style.cs. Alright, time to bring font style into our text. Let's head to Google Fonts and search for Poppins. We want both the regular 400 and the semi-bold 600 styles. Let's make sure we select those. Here we go. On selected family, we already had Poppins regular 400 and the semi-bold 600 styles. Now, we need to grab the link to these styles. Let's copy this part and paste to our HTML file. And just like that, we've told our website to fetch these awesome Poppins styles from Google Fonts. Alright, time to test our HTML file and see our progress. We're going to add a simple test to the body. And voila, our test text appears on the browser. Alright, let's level up our website with some cool icons. We're going to use Ionicons for this. Here, we are on the Ionicons documentation. Let's grab the script that connects our project to Ionicons. And just like that, Ionicons is now part of our project. These icons are going to add that extra flair to our website. Now, let's start to configure our CSS file. We're going to set up a color palette using CSS. We're establishing a color palette for our website, giving each color a name to make our styles consistent and easy to manage. We will use root here. Next, let's clean up our style on CS file by resetting some default styles for a consistent starting point. We set margin to 0, padding to 0, and also outline to 0. Border box for box sizing, to ensure that an element's total width and height include padding and border. And we've also set the font family to Poppins for that modern and sleek look. Last but not least, we set scroll behavior to smooth. Next, for body part, we set width to 100% and height to auto. After we set the basic configuration, here's what it looks like on the browser. Now back to HTML file. Let's remove the test text and start adding structures for our sections. The structures contain navbar section, header section, about, projects, expertise, clients, and contact section. Each section represents a different part of our portfolio website. Now, we're setting up the navbar section. We've added a navigation nav element with the class name, Navbar. Inside this, we've included a burger menu icon using Ionicons. We called the burger icon by set the name to grid-outline. Here what it looks like on the browser. Additionally, there's a div with the class name menus to contain our menu links. Inside the menus div, we include several anchor elements to represent different sections of our website. The ref attribute in each anchor tag will be used to link to specific sections with corresponding IDs. The menu links include About, Projects, and Expertise. This setup lays the foundation for our navigation bar, and as we continue coding, these links will be connected to their respective sections on the web page. Take a look at the browser, and we'll see the navbar with the menu links displayed. This is an important step as we ensure everything looks good before moving forward. Now, we'll dive into styling and enhancing the navbar further. So, let's go to CSS file. Inside this navbar class, we're using Flexbox to range the navbar's items burger icon and menu links. We stacks items vertically, add space above and below items, and also centers items horizontally. We also makes the navbar to 40 pixels wide, takes the full height of the screen, and adds space inside, top and bottom of the navbar. Here, we keep the navbar fixed in place while scrolling, positions the navbar at the top right corner of the screen, and colors it with our main color defined in the root. Now, let's take a moment to see the configuration on the browser. As you can see, our navbar is now visible, featuring a sleek design with the burger menu and section links. Alright, let's delve into the styling of our navigation links. In this snippet, we're making a couple of key adjustments. First, we set text decoration to none to remove any underlines or decorations from our links. Next, we're setting the color property to var white color. As we can see, no more underlines, and the white color blends perfectly with our design. Alright, let's move on to styling the menus class in our CSS file. On this menus class, we use display flex to create a flex container, setting flex direction to column to arrange the links vertically. The property justify content space between ensures there's even spacing between the menu links. In this menus A, we're setting the menu links to have no underlines. By set text decoration, none, a white color var white color, and a vertical writing mode. By set writing mode, vertical RL. We're also adding some letter spacing, setting the font size to 14 pixels, and adding padding to enhance the overall appearance of our vertical menu. Now, let's take a peek at the result. Fantastic! Our menu links are looking sleek with a vertical orientation and stylish typography. Let's add a subtle interactive effect to our menu links. In the CSS file, under Menus A, hover. By set color, var black color. So, when a user hovers over a menu link, the text color changes to our predefined black color. Here, when you hover over our menu links, you'll notice a smooth color transition to black. Alright, now, we're moving on to the header section of our awesome responsive portfolio website. In this header part, we're setting up our header with two distinct areas. The left part will contain some exciting information, and the right part will showcase a stunning image. Let's start with break down the left side of our header. Within the header left div, we've got a subtitle with text is, "Hello, I am." Next we add header title div. In this header title, we're showcasing Roger's name in an H1 tag, adding a line break for style, and emphasizing the last name with a span. Additionally, we've included his professional title Senior Software Engineer in an H3 tag. Followed by a brief, captivating description. Now, let's witness the magic we've crafted in the browser. And voila, our header title is elegantly displayed. Next, let's crafting for last projects section. This is a spotlight on recent endeavors. To start off, we've added an H4 tag with the content last projects, setting the stage for what follows. Within the last project div, we've structured the LP images div. This div functions as a container for a set of images, each one representing a different project has worked on. Inside LP images, there are 3 img tags, each representing a different project. The sircc attribute of each img tag is set to the file path of the corresponding project image. So, let's insert 3 captivating images that represent the recent works. Now, let's preview the updated last project section in the browser. Here, the last project section now features 3 stunning images. You might notice that the images in the last project section appear quite large, impacting the overall aesthetics. Let's apply some styling to ensure a more balanced and visually pleasing presentation. Before we dive into styling the other components in the last project section, let's focus on refining the appearance of the images. We start with LP images. We've set the width to 100, ensuring that the last project's images span the full width of their container. The display flex property enables a flexible layout, and padding 1 remo adds some spacing for a cleaner look. The gap 2 rem provides a comfortable distance between. Next, for images itself, we're setting a specific width and height for each image, 80 pixels by 80 pixels. The object fit cover property ensures that the images maintain their aspect ratio while fitting into this designated space. Lastly, we've added a cursor pointer. Let's take a look at the browser. The images are now elegantly styled and ready for the spotlight. Alright, now, let's enhance the styling of the header section to make it visually appealing. Let's back in the CSS file and add header. Inside this header, we've set the width to 100% to ensure it spans the entire width of its container. The padding right, 40 px, provides a neat spacing on the right side. Height, 100 vh, sets the height to 100 of the viewport height. The display, flex, and flex wrap, wrap reverse, properties enable flexible layout, allowing for responsiveness. Now, let's focus on the header left section to give it a polished look. So, let's add header left in the CS file. Inside this, we've set flex, 45%, display, flex, to ensures a flexible container, while flex direction, column, to stacks the child elements vertically, justify content, space around, and the padding to 4. Let's check out the improved header and header left section in the browser. Now, as we preview the changes in the browser, notice how the header and header left sections perfectly fit the viewport. Moving on to the header right section, this is where we'll showcase a profile image. We've added a div with the class header right. Let's refine the styling of the header right section in our CSS file. Here, we set the flex property to 55, providing a proportionate balance with the header left section. This adjustment enhances the overall visual appeal and layout of our header. Take a look at the browser now. You'll notice that the elements within header left are neatly positioned on the left side, without overflowing into the header right section. Now, style the header title H1 element. We're setting the font size to 64 pixels, letter spacing to 2, line height to 1, and providing some margin for spacing. Now, let's customize the span element within our header title. By tweaking its attributes, we're adding a unique touch to the appearance. Now, let's see how our adjustments to the header titles H1 and span elements manifest on the browser. As we fine-tune the font size, letter spacing, and color, you can observe the captivating visual impact. Next, we're configuring the styling for the H3 element within the header title. We adjusted the letter spacing for better character spacing, creating a clean typography. Also, set padding to 0.5 rem top and bottom. Infusing a captivating blue color using Navbar blue color. Let's take a moment to observe how these adjustments enhance the presentation on the browser. Alright, let's delve into the style of our paragraph within the header title. We've configured it to have a font size of 14px for a balanced text size. The letter spacing is set to 1, ensuring comfortable character spacing. Additionally, the line height is established at 1.7 to promote readability and maintain a harmonious visual flow. Let's check out the result on the browser. The paragraph in the header title is styled beautifully. Now, we're going to style the last project section. We're delving into the CSS file to tweak the styling for our last project section. Here, we've set the width to 100, ensuring our section spans the entire viewport width. Additionally, we've added some padding for a clean and organized spacing, 1 rem at the top and bottom. We already added style for last images and last images im. Now, it adds some hover on the images. We're applying a subtle box shadow to each image, creating a smooth and elegant effect. This box shadow has a slight offset, adding depth to the images when hovered over. Now, let's witness the magic in action by checking out our browser. As we can see, when we hover over each image, the shadow will appear smoothly. It's like giving our users a small, delightful interaction. Let's return to our header right section. We're about to bring in some visual flair by adding a profile image. So here, we add image for the profile. The image's profile, JEP URL points to the image file we want to display. We can see on the browser the image is sitting at the top. Let's add some style to make it pop and position it neatly on the right side. In the CSS file, we've targeted the image within this header right. We are setting object fit, cover. We ensure the image scales proportionally, covering the entire container. The object position, top center aligns the image to the top center of the container, creating a visually appealing layout. We've also adjusted the width and height to 100, allowing the image to fill the entire space within the container. Now, as we glance at the browser, you'll notice the image beautifully positioned on the right side, adding a polished touch to our header. With that, our header styling is complete. Moving forward, let's shift our focus to the About section. We start by adding a new section with the classes About and the It is About. Within the section, we've crafted a container for our title by set div class top title. Next, we've added title number. This is our stylish container for the section number. We added the actual number with h3 tag and tag hr for a sleek horizontal line for a touch of sophistication. Next, we also added title text using h1 tag and name it class with title. Let's see what it looks like on the browser. We can see the number, line, and text already appeared here. Alright, now, let's dive into the styling of our About section. In the CSS file, we've configured the About class. We've set the width to 100% for full width coverage. The padding ensures proper spacing within the section. The calc function is a handy way to include dynamic values in CSS. In this case, it calculates the padding based on a fixed value and a percentage. The height auto allows the section to adjust its height based on content. Let's preview these changes in the browser. You'll notice there's a tasteful padding around the content, providing a visually appealing and well-spaced layout. Next, let's configure the top title. In our CSS file, we've configured the top title class. It's set to display as a flex container with space between items horizontally. This gives us a neat alignment of elements within the top title section. In the browser, the number title and the main title should have a comfortable separation. Next, let's styling the title number. In the CSS file, we add the title number class. We've set it as a flex container with the 1 rem gap between its elements. The items are aligned vertically at the center, and the font size is adjusted to 64 pixels. This ensures a stylish and well-spaced presentation for our number titles. Now, take a look at the browser. Notice how the font size of the number has increased, and there's a distinct space between the number and the accompanying line. Now, we're adding some styling to the line. In our CSS file, we've set the width to 80 pixels, height to 10 pixels, and changed the background color to black. This creates a visually appealing separation between the number and the title. Let's check out the changes in the browser. You'll notice a stylish line beside the number in our About section. Looking good. In our styling journey, let's now focus on the title itself. We've adjusted the font size to 40px and letter spacing to 2, giving it a sleek and cohesive appearance. Take a peek in the browser to see the transformation. Next up, we're delving into the heart of the About section with the About wrapper. This wrapper contains 2 cards, each representing different aspects of the individual's information. Now, let's dive into the first card. Here, we have an image of the individual with the class About Im. This image provides a visual representation of the person. We can see the image on the browser currently looks huge. So, let's go to CS file and styling it. Let's delve into the styling aspect of the About wrapper section. With display, grid, set, we're defining the grid structure using grid template columns. This configuration ensures that each card within the wrapper occupies a minimum width of 260 pixels and expands to fill any remaining space within the grid. we've specified Align Items Center, ensuring that the items within each grid cell are vertically centered. Now, let's focus on styling the About cards and also About image. Each About card spans the entire width of its grid cell, ensuring consistent sizing and spacing. In the styling for About img, we set width 100% to make sure they fill the entire width of their space. Additionally, we use max width for 100 pixel. Also, by adding height 100% and object fit cover, we ensure the images maintain their aspect ratio. Now, we view our website in the browser. We can see that the images are neatly aligned on the left side with the correct size. Now back to HTML file. We're adding another About card division inside the About wrapper container. Next, we're adding a title to the About section using the H2 tag. The title is Let's Find Out About Me, which serves as an introductory statement, inviting viewers to learn more about the content presented in this section. We can see on the browser, the title already appear on the right side. Now, let's enrich our About section with more content. We've added paragraphs to provide further details about me. These paragraphs offer insights into my background, experiences, and interests. You can edit it as you want. Let's take a look at the browser. The paragraph already appear perfectly below the title. Additionally, we've included a button labeled More Me, encouraging viewers to explore additional information. Now, the button already appear at the browser. Now, we're diving into the styling of the title within the About card. In our CSS file, we've targeted the H2 element within the About card class. We've set the color to match our primary color variable and adjusted the font size to 32 pixels. Let's see how it looks on the browser. You'll notice that the title now stands out with red color and a font size of 32 pixels. Next up, we're styling the paragraphs within our About cards. In our CSS file, we've added some spacing to the top of each paragraph with a margin of 1.5 rem. Additionally, we've adjusted the letter spacing to enhance readability. Let's see how this looks on our website. The paragraphs now has better spacing and more readable. Now, let's style the button within our About cards. In our CSS file, we add About btn. Inside this, we set the button's margin top to 2 rem. The padding is adjusted to 0.5 rem on the top and bottom, and 2 rem on the left and right. We remove the button's border with border, none. Setting cursor to pointer. Background color is set to var blue color. And text color to white. And finally, a subtle box shadow is added to the button, giving it a slight elevation and enhancing its visual appeal. Let's see how these changes enhance the appearance and usability of our website. Voila! The button's appearance and functionality have been enhanced with our CSS styles. Alright, now it's time to shift our focus to the project section. In our HTML file, we'll start by adding a new section with the class projects and the ID also projects. Inside, we've got a top title div, which houses the main title and section number. Inside the top title div, we include an H1 element with the class title, showcasing our main title, Best Projects. Alongside the main title, we have a div with the class title number. Inside this div, we insert an her element with the class project's her. This provides a visual separation between the title and section number. Finally, we include an h3 element with the text O2 to represent the section number. Now, we can see the HTML setup for the title on projects already appear on our browser, but the position not fit well. So let's start to styling it. Firstly, we'll target the projects class in our CSS file. This class represents the entire project section. We're setting its width to 100% to ensure it spans the entire width of the viewport. Then, we're applying padding to create some space around the content. The background color property sets the background color to a vibrant yellow, while the color property ensures our text appears in white for better contrast. Let's save our changes and see how our project section looks in the browser. See how the project section stands out with its vibrant yellow background. Next, we want to customize the horizontal rule that separates the title and section number. We're using the projects her class to target this specific horizontal rule. By setting its background color to white, we ensure it stands out against the yellow background of the section. We can see on the browser that color of the line already changed to white color. Alright, let's dive more into our project section. We're adding projects wrapper to contain our project cards. Now, within the projects wrapper, we'll add a projects card for each project. Next, we'll add an image to represent the project. We do this by including an img tag with the class projects img and setting the sircc attribute to the path of our project image, in this case, images project1, JPG. To provide more information about each project, we include a section for project details. This contains an H4 element for the project title and a P element for the project description. Lastly, we add a button to allow users to access additional details about each project. This button, labeled More Detail, is created using a button element with the class projects btn. Let's check out our browser. The project cards are now visible, each containing an image, a title, project details, and a button. However, the images seem too large for the cards. We'll adjust their size shortly. Now, before we start styling the project cards, let's add 2 more project cards to our HTML. Each card will include an image, a title, project details, and a button. Let's just copy it from our previous projects cards. Let's change the location of image on the second projects card with images projects 2, JPG, and also change the title to best project 2. Now, let's add 1 more project card to our HTML. We'll keep the same details as before, but change the image location and the title to maintain consistency and demonstrate how easy it is to add new projects. Now, let's take a look at our browser. You can see that we've seamlessly integrated 2 additional project cards into our layout. Each card features its own unique image and title, contributing to the overall presentation of our portfolio section. Alright, let's dive into the styling phase of our project. We'll begin by focusing on the project's wrapper element. Projects wrapper to be a flex container, allowing its child elements to be laid out in a row. We've added space around each card using justify content, space around, and specified a gap between them with gap 5%. Additionally, we've applied padding to the wrapper to ensure adequate spacing around its contents. Moving on to the project's card class, which defines the styling for each individual project card. We've set its width to 100% to ensure it spans the entire width of its container, and its height to 70 VH to maintain a consistent size across all cards. We've also added a subtle box shadow effect to give the cards a sense of depth and dimension, and a cursor pointer to indicate interactivity. Finally, for the project's IM class, which targets the images within our project cards, we've set their width and height to 100% to ensure they fill their respective card containers. Now, let's head over to our browser and see how these styling changes have impacted the appearance of our project section. As you can see, the images in our project cards have been resized and positioned perfectly within their containers. However, the text content is still visible below the images, which isn't the layout we want just yet. Now, before we dive into styling the text content, let's add a neat little effect when we hover over our project cards. By adding a shadow effect, we can give them a subtle sense of depth and interactivity. Alright, let's see it in action. When we hover over the cards, you'll notice a smooth shadow appearing around them. Now, to enhance the visual appeal of our project cards, let's add some brightness configuration to the images. We've set the initial brightness of the project images to 55%. This gives them a slightly subdued appearance, blending well with the overall aesthetic of our website. However, to add an interactive element, we've applied a hover effect. When we hover over a project card, the brightness of the associated image increases to 90%. This change instantly draws attention to the project, making it stand out more prominently. Now, take a closer look at the browser. Notice how the images subtly brighten up when we hover over their respective project cards. Next up, let's focus on styling the project details section. In the CS, let's style by position them to absolute. Next, we'll add some padding to the project details for spacing. Now, let's ensure the text color is white for better contrast. Lastly, let's make sure the project details appear above the project image. Alright, let's take a look at how they appear on the browser. As you can see, the text is now positioned nicely above the project image, creating a sleek and professional look. Alright, let's refine the project. Detailed titles. In our CSS file, we've added some styling for the project detail heading 4. We've adjusted the margin bottom to provide some space below the title, and we've also applied letter spacing for better readability. Now, let's see how these changes enhance the appearance of our project detail titles on the browser. Next, let's continue to styling the paragraph on the project's details. We've adjusted the font size to 12 pixels for a more balanced look. Set line height to 1.8 to increase vertical spacing between lines, aiding readability, and letter spacing to 1. Let's observe how these changes enhance the appearance of the paragraph content on our projects. Next, let's styling the button on the project details. Inside this project's BTN, we're positioning the button absolutely. ensuring it stays in place within its container. Next, we're increasing the padding for better spacing around the button text. We're removing the border for a cleaner look. The background color will match our primary color for consistency. Text color will be white for clarity. Font size will be adjusted to ensure readability. Finally, the cursor will be set to a pointer, indicating that it's clickable. Now, we set the display to none, so initially hide the button. By setting, we can see it on the browser, the button currently hidden. Next, we're configuring the button to appear when hovering over the project card. We use the hover pseudo class for the project's card element. When hovering over the card, we target the project's btn element within it. Then, we set the display property to block to make the button visible. As you can see, when we hover over the project card on the browser, the button elegantly appears. With that, we've completed styling the project section, achieving a sleek and engaging layout. Now, let's move forward to tackle the expertise section of our webpage. This section will showcase our skills and areas of expertise. We'll begin with create a section element with the class expertise and an ID of expertise. This will allow us to target and style this section specifically. Inside the expertise section, we'll add a container div with the class top title to hold the title and number. Within this container, we'll have two child elements, one for the title number and one for the main title. For the title number, we'll use an H3 element to display the number 03, indicating the order of this section. Next to the number, we'll include a horizontal line using the her element for visual separation. For the main title, we'll use an H1 element with the class title to display expertise, signifying the content of this section. Now, let's take a look at our web page. You'll notice that the number, line, and title for the expertise section are now visible on the browser. Now, let's dive into styling the expertise section. We'll start by configuring its overall style. We set the width to 100% to ensure it spans the entire viewport width. For the height, we specify auto to allow it to adjust based on content. To add padding, we use the padding property. We're applying padding to the top, right, bottom, and left sides, with values calculated for responsiveness. Now, let's see how these changes look on the web page. If we take a look at the browser, you'll notice that the expertise section has some padding applied. Next, we'll add the expertise wrapper to contain our expertise cards. Within this wrapper, we'll start by adding the first expertise card with the class of expertise card and a color class of expertise red. Inside this div, there's an H3 tag for the title, problem solving, and a P tag for some descriptive text. Now, let's check our browser. You can see the text is already displayed on the expertise card. Now, let's add more expertise cards. We'll simply duplicate the previous card. Change the color class to expertise dark, and update the title to programming. Now, add more expertise cards with different colors and titles. We'll continue duplicating the previous card, updating the color, class, and title accordingly. We've added a card with the class expertise blue and the title software development. Another card with the class expertise yellow and the title testing. Next, a card with the class Expertise Purple and the title Teamwork. Finally, a card with the class Expertise Red and the title Communication. Now, let's take a look at our browser. You can see that all of the Expertise cards have been successfully displayed. Alright, we'll move on to styling the Expertise wrapper. We want to make sure all the Expertise cards are nicely laid out. We'll use CSS to create a grid layout for our Expertise cards. We set up a grid layout with responsive columns, ensuring that each card has a minimum width of 280 pixels and fills the available space evenly. We've also added a gap of 2 rem between each card. Now, let's take a look at our browser to see how our Expertise cards are arranged in the grid layout. Next, let's move on to style the Expertise card. In the CSS file, we've configured the Expertise card class to style our Expertise cards. Each card will occupy 100% of its container's width. We've set a fixed height of 200 pixels for each card. We've added padding around each card using the padding 4% property. We've also given each card a background color, and we've set the cursor to pointer. In the browser, you can now see our Expertise cards. Each card has a background color and sufficient padding. Now, we'll style the heading and paragraph inside each Expertise card. We start with the title first, so in the CS file, we focus on Expertise card H3. Inside this, we set a bottom margin of 1 rem and increase the letter spacing to 1.5 for better readability. Here's what the heading of Expertise card look like on the browser. Next, for the paragraph on the Expertise card, we adjust the font size to 14px, line height to 1.5, and letter spacing to 1 for a balanced look and feel. Now, let's check out how the paragraph appears on the browser after applying these styles. Next, let's enhance the visual appeal by adding a hover effect to the Expertise card. So, in the CS file we add Expertise card hover. We add some shadow on it. Watch as the shadow changes when we hover over the card. Now, to make our Expertise cards more visually appealing, we'll assign each card a unique color scheme. We'll do this by defining different color classes in our CSS file and applying them to the corresponding cards. First, we're going to style the Expertise Red class in our CSS file to give it a vibrant red theme. Alright, now, let's move on to styling the Expertise Dark class to give it a sleek and sophisticated dark theme. We set the color and top border with second color that we already defined before. Moving on to our next theme, let's add a touch of vibrancy with the Expertise Blue class. Here, we'll set the text color to var blue color to infuse that refreshing blue hue. Like before, we'll add a top border with a thickness of 2px, using the same blue color var blue color to maintain consistency. Moving forward, let's delve into crafting the Expertise Yellow class to infuse our Expertise card with the vibrant yellow theme. In our final step of color configuration, we'll focus on the Expertise Purple class to infuse our Expertise card with the regal purple theme. In our quest to bring diversity to our Expertise section, we've successfully configured color classes to imbue each Expertise card. Let's take a moment to marvel at our handiwork. We'll witness the stunning array of colors on display, each card exuding its own personality and charm. With this accomplishment, our Expertise section is now not only informative, but also visually captivating. Now, let's dive into our next section, the Clients Showcase. We'll begin by adding a section tag with the class Clients and an ID of Clients. Inside this section, we'll have a title that introduces the purpose of this section. We'll use an h1 tag with the class title for this purpose. This title will provide context and guide visitors to understand that they are viewing our clients' logos. Directly below the title, we'll create a div element with the class Clients wrapper. Within the Clients wrapper div, we'll insert individual IMG tags for each client's logo. These IMG tags will contain the source attribute pointing to the respective logo images stored in our images folder. By using CVG format for the logos, we ensure they maintain high quality and scalability on various devices. We will add 6 representative clients logo for this section. You can replace it as you want. Now, here the 6 logos look like on the browser. Alright, we're diving into styling our client section. First, we'll target the clients class in our CSS. We want the client section to spend the entire width of its container, so we'll set its width to 100%. Next, we'll add some padding to ensure proper spacing around the content within the section. To organize the logos of our clients, we'll use Flexbox by setting Display to Flex. To ensure the logos wrap nicely, we'll use FlexWrap to wrap, and also use Justify Content to space between, and align items to center to ensure that the logos are vertically centered within their container. As you can see, the title clients and the logos of our clients are now displayed side by side within the client section. Alright, let's dive deeper into styling the individual logos. In our Clients section, we'll be focusing on the Clients wrapper class, where all the logos are contained. We've set padding to create some space around the logos, used Flexbox to ensure the logos are displayed in a row, and applied FlexWrap to allow the logos to wrap onto the next line if the space is limited. We've centered the logos horizontally and vertically within the container using Justify Content, center, and align items, center. And then we've added a small gap between the logos. You'll notice that there's now some space between each of the logos, giving them some breathing room and making the overall layout more visually appealing. Now that we've completed our client section, let's move on to the next part of our website, the contact section. We've started by creating a new section with the class contact and the ID contact. Inside this section, we have a contact wrapper div containing a contact top div. Inside contact top, we've included a prominent title, marked with the title class, indicating its significance. This title, "Why Hire Me for Your Projects?" serves as a clear heading to capture the viewer's attention and convey the section's purpose effectively. Accompanying the title is a paragraph, denoted by the P tag, containing persuasive content elaborating on the benefits of choosing our services for their projects. Now, let's take a look at our browser. You can see that the title and the paragraph we just added are now visible in the contact section. Next, let's add some more content to our contact section. Inside the contact wrapper, we'll create a new section called Contact Detail. This will contain information like phone number, email, and social media links. Here, we'll add individual contact card elements for each piece of information. Now, for each contact card, we'll include an icon, a title, and the relevant contact information. Let's begin by adding the phone number information. We'll use the phone icon to represent it. This will make it easy for visitors to identify the type of contact information provided in this card. Next, let's include the email information. We'll use the mail icon to represent it. This will provide visitors with a clear indication that this card contains email contact details. Last, but not least, let's add the details about our YouTube channel. We'll use the YouTube logo to represent it. This will help visitors easily identify and connect with our YouTube presence. Now, let's check our progress on the browser. You can see that all the contact information are displayed with their respective icons. Alright, let's begin styling the contact section. In our CSS file, we'll target the contact class. We'll set its width to 100% and add some padding to ensure proper spacing around the content. Let's take a look at our website now. There's a noticeable amount of padding inside the contact section. This padding helps to create a visually appealing layout. Alright folks, now it's time to add some style to our contact wrapper. So, let's dive into the CSS and make some changes. We're setting the background color of the contact wrapper to our blue color theme and ensuring that the text color contrasts nicely against it by using our white color theme. We also add some padding on it. Let's take a look at the browser now. As you can see, the contact wrapper has been updated with our new styling, adding a splash of color to the section and making it more visually appealing. Now, it's time to style the contact top section. We want to ensure that it looks clean and organized while effectively presenting our title and paragraph. We're setting the width to 100%. Then, we're using Flexbox to align the content horizontally, with space between each item. We're also allowing the content to wrap and adding a small gap between the items for better spacing. Let's check out the browser now. As you can see, the contact top section has been styled according to our specifications. Next, we're targeting the title element within the contact top class and applying some styling to it. We're setting the flex property to 03, which determines the proportion of available space this element should take up along the flex container's main axis. Next, let's jump into styling for the paragraph in the contact top section. We're setting the flex property to 07. Similar to what we did with the title. This determines the proportion of available space this element should take up along the flex container's main axis. We're setting a minimum width of 260 pixels for the paragraph. We're adjusting the line height to 1.5. Finally, we're applying letter spacing of 1. Let's check out the browser to see how these changes are reflected visually. As you can see, the paragraph now aligns nicely with the title, and the text is more readable and aesthetically pleasing. Alright, now we're moving on to style, the contact details section. We set display, flex and justify content, space between. We add flex wrap to ensure responsiveness. And also, we apply padding of 3% vertically and 0 horizontally. Now, let's take a look at the changes we've made on the browser. As you can see, the contact details section now has a clean layout. Next up, we're going to style the individual contact cards. We'll start by setting some padding around each card. Then, we'll define a width of 300 pixels to ensure they're not too wide or too narrow. For the text color, we'll go with our default black color. Lastly, we'll add a slight margin to the top. And we'll set the cursor to pointer. Let's see how these changes enhance the look and feel of our contact cards on the browser. Now, let's style the contact images. These icons provide visual cues about the type of contact information represented. We'll start by setting a background color of black to give the icons a consistent appearance. Then, we'll define a width and height of 50 pixels to ensure they're appropriately sized. We'll increase the font size to 36 pixels for better visibility. And to make sure the icon is centered within its container, we'll use Flexbox properties to vertically and horizontally align it. Lastly, we'll add a slight margin to the bottom of each icon to separate them from the text above, and also set the icon color to white. Let's see how these style adjustments enhance the appearance of our contact icons on the browser. The icons now stand out more with their increased size and the black background. Now, let's style the text within the contact cards. We'll adjust the font size to ensure it's visually balanced with the rest of the content. Let's take a look at the browser. You can notice that the text size in the contact cards has been reduced, providing a better visual balance to the content. Now that we've completed all the content and structure of our project, our website is ready to impress. But we're not done yet. To truly enhance its appeal, especially for mobile users, we're going to tweak the styling. Let's ensure it looks just as stunning on smaller screens. We'll start by fine-tuning the header section to make it more mobile-friendly. Let's head back to our CSS file. In the media query, targeting screens with the maximum width of 640 px, we've made the following adjustments. We've reduced the font size of the main title H1 to 36 px to maintain readability without overwhelming smaller screens. The subtitle H3 now has a font size of 20 px, creating a more balanced appearance alongside the main title. To ensure the profile image on the right side of the header remains visible and proportionate, we've set its height to 50 VH. Now, let's take a look at the tweaks we've made to the header section on the browser. You'll notice that the font sizes of the title and subtitle have been adjusted, and the image now fits better on smaller screens. Back to CSS file. Let's make some adjustments to the title part. We'll set the font size of the main title to 28 pixels. This will make the title slightly smaller for better visual balance. The number indicating the section order will have its font size adjusted to 30 pixels. This ensures it's slightly larger and stands out more. We'll modify the styling of the horizontal line beneath the number. This includes setting its width to 40 pixels, height to 5 pixels, and changing its background color to match the theme, in this case, black. Let's take a look at what these changes look like on the browser. As you can see, the font size of the title and subtitle has been adjusted, making them slightly smaller for a better visual balance. The horizontal line also shorter and thinner. Let's make some adjustments to the project section. We've increased the height of the project cards to 300 pixels, providing a bit more space for content. Additionally, we've hidden the paragraph text within the project details for now, focusing solely on the title and image presentation. Let's check out the browser. Notice how the description within the project cards is now hidden in the mobile view, keeping the layout clean and focused on the essential information. Now that we've finished tweaking the mobile view, it's time to enhance the website's appeal with animation effects. We'll utilize the ScrollReveal library for this purpose. Let's take a look at the documentation of the ScrollReveal library. We copy the link of the script and paste it to our HTML file. We also add the app.js file. This is for our next configuration for animation effect. So, let's start to code in app.js. Let's start by animating the header left section. As users scroll down, the content will elegantly slide in from the left, creating a smooth and polished entrance effect that grabs attention. Now that we've added animations to our header left section, let's check out the browser to see how it looks. As we refresh, watch how the content smoothly slides in from the left, adding a touch of elegance to our website. Moving on to the header right section, we'll apply a subtle scaling effect. This will add a touch of sophistication to the design, making the content feel more interactive and dynamic. Now, let's see the effect we've applied to the header right section. Observe how the content subtly scales, creating a sophisticated and dynamic visual experience. Next, we'll bring some flair to the top title section. With a gentle upward motion, the title will gracefully reveal itself, creating a sense of anticipation and drawing users further into the page. Let's check the browser to see the animation in action. Notice how the title gracefully reveals itself, drawing users further into the page with its upward motion. Now, let's turn our attention to the About section. As users scroll down, each card will animate in from the bottom, adding depth and dimension to the layout and making the content feel more alive. Now, let's see the animations we've applied to the About section. As we scroll down, observe how each card animates in from the bottom, adding depth and dimension to the layout. In the Project section, we'll use a scaling effect to make each card grow slightly as it comes into view. This not only adds visual interest, but also helps to highlight the importance of each project. Let's take a look at the browser to see how this animation enhances the visual appeal of our projects. Similarly, in the Expertise section, we'll apply a scaling effect to the cards, ensuring a consistent and cohesive animation style throughout the site. Watch as each card scales slightly, maintaining a consistent and cohesive animation style throughout the site. Finally, we'll add an animation to the Contact section. As users scroll, the entire wrapper will animate upward, providing a seamless transition between sections and enhancing the overall flow of the page. As we scroll, observe how the entire wrapper animates upward, providing a seamless transition between sections. Now, Let's head over to the browser to see these animations in action. And that's a wrap for our personal website project. I hope you found this tutorial helpful in creating your own stunning website. If you have any suggestions for future projects or topics you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it useful, and subscribe to my channel for more exciting tutorials like this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.